What's up, guys? We are back again. We're going to be talking about Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 2. So, if you guys have not seen that yet and you still do not want to be spoiled, but at the same time you want to find out what's going on, go ahead, check it out. Online it is there. Let me know what you guys thought about it because this last two episodes, I have to say, was probably the best of the season because not only was there a massive plan not only to take on Vecna, but 11 getting her powers back. We had some deaths. We had some near-close deaths, but also there was a lot going on within this episode. I don't even know where to begin. But I will say, for the most part, we had everyone coming up with their own plan. 11 finally gets her powers back, but the military is on the way, and her so-called papa is wanting to control her again. And finally, when it seems like that he has her right where he wants her, the military shows up, starts killing everybody, and he tries to get her out of there. And then finally, when he's really close to getting her out, you see where Mike as well as Will and everyone else shows up to save 11, and then 11 says her final goodbye to Papa, and then once that happens, we do see where she's done, man. I mean, she's done with being controlled. Her powers are back, and they let her know what's going on. And now that she knows fully what the plan is, because what everyone figures out is Vecna is trying to open up another portal. And what happens is that if he opens up a fourth portal, they're all going to combine, and it's going to try to have the Upside Down into the actual world. So what happens is between everyone's got their own plan. We kind of go back and forth because we even see where Hobbs as well as everyone else in Russia, they're trying to come up with a plan because they do escape. But the biggest problem is we see where Hobbs and everybody kind of come up with their own plan. Like Hopper, he kind of comes up with his own plan where he's like, okay, where Joyce as well as Murray, they escape, but then soon realize that to give the kids a chance with everything that's been going on, they have to go back and stop the Demogorgons so that way they can give them a chance. And between Lucas, Max, Dustin, Steve, Nancy, and even Robin, and Eddie, they have to go into the Upside Down, and they have different plans to do something where Eddie and Dustin are distracting while Max and Lucas and his sister are baiting Vecna to go after her, because the way it is if Vecna has the same way to do like 11 does, being almost like in a comatose state, but be able to still be alive and use the powers, then that's what happens. And we have where Steve as well as Nancy and Robin, they go after Vecna, and we find out that Vecna is the main piece. We find out that he's been the one controlling everything, aka Henry. He's the one that has started everything. He's the one that's been causing everything since the very beginning, and that is what happens. So we do have this massive fight that goes on between where Eddie and Dustin are trying to take on the bats that are in there. And then finally, we do get to see, unfortunately, where Eddie gives himself to basically give Dustin a chance to get out. But he also does not run. He dies a hero. And yes, he does die. And Dustin does get hurt trying to save him. But then at the same time, we do see where Nancy, Robin, and Steve, they actually burn Vecna, and they even start shooting and able to finally get him back. But then finally, it doesn't really show if Vecna is finally going to be dead, but at the same time, they were able to stop him and be able to have the others be able to kill everything to give them a fighting chance. Now, I will say that the last two episodes was very long. The first episode was, I think, an hour and a half long. The second one was like almost 2.5 hours long. So be prepared for almost like a movie, so to speak, for both episodes. But was it worth it for these two episodes? Honestly, I would prefer if they were just released the entirety of the season all in one whack. I thought this was going to be the last season. Surprisingly, it is not. It is not going to be the last season. Let me rephrase that. This is not the last season. This is not the last season. We still got another season coming. Don't know when. But how is this going with the way it ends? Where exactly are we going from here? Because the way it ends is, unfortunately, Max, we thought that she died. Unfortunately, she's in a comatose state. Don't know if she's going to be able to get out of it. And what happens is she is in a comatose state. Eddie is dead. The town is in ruins. Everyone's either leaving, trying to survive, trying to find a way to figure out what's going on, and everyone starts coming together and trying to figure out exactly what exactly is going to happen. We see Hopper reunite with 11. We see everybody else reunite. We even see where is Steve and Nancy going to get back together, because it even shows where Steve finally admitted that he still wants to be with Nancy. He admits that he did wrong. He wants things back to the way they were. He wants better. And what's even more crazy is 11 finally facing her past, and now knowing, she doesn't have to be scared of who she is. She can go all out and still be able to fight. And again, with Vecna not being dead and him some having power over the world, and now bringing the Upside Down to the real world at the very end with that big old cloud, the Mind Storm. We don't know if this is going to be like being able to bring all the monsters into the actual world, or is it to where Vecna is now in the world and he's trying to regain his strength from getting technically his ass beat by Nancy, Steve, and also Robin. So we don't know exactly if he's still, if he's trying to recuperate after getting beaten. And at the same time, we don't know if Robin, as well as Robin, she may be in a relationship. Steve may be getting with Nancy again, because I don't think Jonathan is going to be with Nancy very much longer because of him being very distant and not knowing anything. Again, I will address this since it seems like a lot of people have been very curious about this. And again, I just don't think I think it was really stupid that they're harping so much on Will's sexuality in here. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that he's gay. Again, okay, so what if he is? Okay. He has a crush on Mike. He wants to be with Mike, but it's not going to happen. I mean, again, it's not going to happen. And it kind of was seemingly like it was going that way because of the way he was acting in the beginning of this season, but earlier you couldn't tell. I don't know why they wrote that in like that. It doesn't make a lot of sense to bring that into the show, especially from some weird ass triangle when you can clearly see Mike is not gay or even bisexual. So again, I don't know why they're wanting to bring that into a show. That makes no sense. Also, with wanting to force the Lucas and Max relationship, again, very cringe, not making a whole lot of sense. Very forced, I think. Max really, tried to get her redemption this season to blaming herself for Billy's death and finally admitting that, yeah, she did want Billy dead, but at the same time, she wanted to die herself, and then later on did not want to die. So again, the whole relationship, even with Lucas finally, accepting himself for being who he is, a nerd, and loving his friends and wanting to be their first friends rather than being an asshole and a jock. He finally is like, oh, hey, I'm going to be, this. And that's normal for a kid. I understand that. But again, at the same time, it just felt like that there was a lot of pressure in this season to do things that doesn't make sense, not only for the story, but also for what they were trying to do initially. So I don't know, maybe that's just me, maybe that's just the way I feel. Again, I like Stranger Things. There's just some things I don't agree with, and there's a lot of things that I don't find entertaining. But again, there are things about Stranger Things that I absolutely love. I'm very happy that they're showing more of the Upside Down finally, after the entirety of not only the series but the season 4, because that's necessarily what the show's been about, is trying to figure out more about the Upside Down and what's going on there and why it is the way it is. And now pretty much Vecna, aka Henry, he's the leader down there, and he took over and he's been controlling everything since the beginning. So we got a lot of answers to a certain degree, but at the same time, what's going to happen in season 5, who knows. But guys, what did you think of season 5? Was it great? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it normal? What was your overall thoughts? Please let me know down in the comments down below. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribing. Leave a big fat like on the video if you guys enjoyed. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.